How much do small but moderately successful YouTubers make? Well, I've been monetized for a bit over a month now, so I can show you my numbers. But in my first month of being monetized, I had a few abnormal things happen, so try not to skip ahead too much because I do want to give you some context. Otherwise, the numbers might look a little bit misleading. And if you're here because you're a small creator or thinking about starting your own channel, if you wait to the very end, I've got some advice at the end of the video for you. So after posting my first video, it took me 84 days to get monetized on YouTube. After that, it did take a little bit to get approved and then have the money start actually showing up on the account. So my first actual day of my videos generating money was August 26th. And yeah, that might occur to you that's a bit more than a month ago, but YouTube also has this then secondary verification process that drags out and takes forever, and I wanted to make sure that that gets done before I make and post this video, so that's why that date's now like nearly 3 months ago. So this is where my channel is a little bit abnormal. YouTube's requirements to get monetized start at 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. The watch hours is what took me a fair while to finally accumulate, so that on the day that I started monetization, I actually already had 5,000 subscribers, which is why some of these numbers may be a bit more than what you would typically see in these sort of videos. Especially since I ended my first month of monetization with over 12,500 subscribers. So when the month started, I already had posted 11 videos. Now, when you first get monetized, you don't get any of the revenue that those videos would have already generated for YouTube. You don't get like back paid or anything. But any videos that are already up, any views from that day forward do start generating money. So that even though it took me about a week between getting monetized and posting my next video, that's why I started generating revenue straight away. So the very first day when I got to log on and check how much my videos made, I saw a number of $25 and a couple cents, which for me, I actually thought was more than I thought it would be. At this point, that's probably about what my Patreon was making each month. So I was pretty stoked. I was starting to do the math that, hey, that's like 700 bucks a month. That's actually going to start covering the cost of the channel properly, which is something that you follow me on Patreon, you know that's something that at this period of time I was really starting to stress about. So I was pretty over the moon. Little did I know what was about to come. But then the next day, I saw a number of $48.46. So my profits have been doubled overnight. All of a sudden, that's looking like $1,200 or $1,500 a month. That's suddenly actually a bit of a decent side hustle. And I was starting to think about if I had started trying to do a bit of a market garden, which is what I was thinking about doing, that's about the profit margin per month that I would be really happy with. So I was starting to be really happy I made the decision to start making videos. And then it floated around this for a week and a half, and I wasn't prepared for what was about to happen on about September 7th and 8th. Between the start of the month and now, I had posted 2 videos and a short, and they were doing okay. But on these couple of days, one of my old videos exploded. By this point, this video was about 6 weeks old and had racked up around 30,000 views. But in the space of only the next couple days, it shot all the way up to over 250,000 views. And so across these days, the dollars were really starting to come in. I had a full 7 days in a row of making over $100 per day on YouTube. 3 of those days I made over $200 from ad revenue. At this stage, I was starting to look up what color of Lambo I might want to order, which green, I mean, it's got to be green, right? Like everything on the channel's green. It's got to be green. However, much to my dismay, there is a Lamborghini shortage in Australia, so there's about a 12-month wait time, which was a bit of a downer. And the YouTube revenue started to go back down to be a bit more of a normal level. That trickled down through a couple days at $70, a couple days at $50, and then for the next couple of weeks, then re-normalized back at around that $25 per day. And so across the total of the month, I'd posted 5 videos and 2 shorts. I'd gained about 7,500 subscribers. In total, my videos had done about 390,000 views, which is ridiculous considering the month before the entire history of the channel had maybe 90,000 views. So what does that look like in terms of total for the month? Well, off my YouTube shorts, I made a whopping $6.73. YouTube shorts, if you haven't worked out, don't really pay anything. You really need to get millions of views on your shorts for them to make any sort of decent money. Now, most of the monthly income did come from that one video that did really well. In total, that video generated $1,072.76 in that month, and it hasn't really done much since. And one other video did something similar, but to a much less extent, only about 90,000 views, and that video did $652. I had one other video do about $100, then all of my other videos for the entire month did about $20 each or less. And so the total sum that brings me to for the first 28 days monetized on YouTube, $2,250.60 AUD, Australian, before taxes, which I just found out that the US takes 5% tax before it even gets to Australia, and then I have to pay my actual like Australian tax on that. So like it's not like that crazy, which might sound incredible, but if I do the math of how many hours it took shooting and editing those videos and then posting them for all the videos up to that point, it works out to be about $6.10 an hour or so. Which is very, very, very below our minimum wage in Australia. But if you're watching this because you're a content creator or you're thinking about creating content, I did promise something for you. And for my existing subscribers, I do have an exciting announcement. I'm starting a second channel. Now, Culinary Garden fans, do not worry. This will not impact the amount of Culinary Garden videos that come out. One of the main reasons that I want to start a second channel is because I get plenty of days where it's impossible to film out in the garden due to rain, or it's dark, or like today, when there is a whole bunch of construction happening just over my backyard and I literally could not record audio. And now that I have a decent chunk of subscribers, I've had a fair few other much larger creators reach out to me and we've had some conversations. And one thing we've worked out is that I think about YouTube in a completely different way that most people do. And nearly all of these creators, including a couple that have over 5 million subscribers on their channels, have told me I should start a second channel where I talk about how I make my videos and how I approach YouTube because it's so refreshing and different. So I'm doing exactly that. I'm starting a channel where I'm gonna give a lot of content creation advice, do some fun things like camera reviews. I wanna show a lot of behind the scenes content of me making my garden videos because I think some of it is actually quite interesting. And just some general stuff about me. I'm treating it more as a personal channel. If any of that sounds of interest to you or you just like me, go check it out. I have already uploaded my first video there. I'll schedule it to launch the same time as this video. The first video that I'm putting over there is my unique way to approach YouTube that got me monetized and 10,000 subscribers in 3 months. And that's as someone who is starting from a complete beginner. Cool, so that's the video. Back to regular gardening content, next video. If you've liked this video, I want to help other people see it, please give it a thumbs up. In the comments, leave if you've shocked by this as much as I was. Like, I think this is ridiculous. My expectation of what I thought I was going to get in my first month was about $150, but like I got that in a day. So, you know, what color Lambo should I get? No, I'm kidding. But yeah, don't see that and think that that's what's going to happen in your first month because, oh boy. But if you wanted to, do check out the second channel. There you go. Awesome. Thank you. I'll see you next time.